Okay, so this session will last approximately 20 minutes. The aim of the session is to give you an idea of what studying psychology will be like. Like I said earlier, if you have any questions, please pop them into the chat box and Nicola will try and answer them questions behind the scenes. But if we don't get to answer them questions, we will answer them towards the end of the session. Your questions will be anonymous and we'll try our best to answer all sensible and relevant questions by the end of the session. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to start off with a little clip about psychology at the Solihull Sixth Form College.
No, I didn't.
No, I did not study psychology at GCSEs.
It's nice and it's refreshing because you get to enjoy a subject that you're actually doing because you picked it.
Psychology is a subject that's quite different to every other subject. It gives you a new perspective on looking at life and looking at different things and giving you a new alternative. And in terms of subject, I think it's quite similar to biology where you have to memorize a lot of things, and a lot of things there's not less application needed, rather just more memorizing, and you just got to know what. So it's not hard, anyone can do it.
Law and history.
Sociology, economics, and obviously psychology.
Yeah, because they're all sort of analysis based, so it sort of transfers the skills quite a bit, so that's helpful.
I think it is a good combination because they're all social sciences. Economics is looking at the economy, sociology is looking at institutions and how people interact, and then psychology is looking at how people perceive themselves to the outer community and how they conduct themselves.
We'll go through over the homework we've done, and we'll look at different studies and theories from different psychologists and the research and do evaluations and talk about that sort of thing.
So psychology lesson involves numerous amount of things, but first you have to learn about the subject itself, and then we do a lot of exam questions, so we do evaluations and skills. AO1 involves just having the subject knowledge, which we cover. Then AO3 is evaluation, where you have to try and evaluate the subject knowledge and the positives and negatives.
I think student focused, because we do go around and we'll have some lessons where we'll put someone's work under the visor and we'll all have a look and see how well they did. Probably psychopathology, because I like looking at the different studies and there's some quite interesting ones with that. We looked at phobias and OCD and other studies. Yeah, it was interesting.
My favourite subject in psychology so far has been attachment. Because attachment, you can apply it to our daily lives and you can actually analyse it and see how psychology can be used in the outer world.
Look at the different subjects that you're going to do and the topics and make sure the ones you're going to enjoy, because that tends to help if you actually enjoy what you're doing.
To as a year 12 psychology student, I'd give the advice just work hard and start from the start rather than leaving it to year 13 or later year 13, because then it'll get too much.
We have intervention sessions just starting, and then we also have the teacher feedback from work we've done. We tend to go over it with the teacher obviously in the lesson, and then we can look at where we need to add things or change what we're doing to get a better answer.
I think the support of the teachers is the main thing. They'll obviously always pushing you and trying to make you do better. You have outer support like career advisors and your coaches as well, but I think the main support comes from the teachers and them trying to push you forward, make you perform better.
Okay, so I hope that gave you a flavour of psychology at the sixth form. Let's have a little look through the course outline and why you should study psychology at the college. So to start off, it's a truly contemporary subject which is relevant to all our students' lives. You'll probably find psychology interesting because you can relate it to your everyday life, your family, people in the media. It improves your literacy skills and your students' abilities in other subjects. So in terms of literacy skills, it's an essay-based subject as well. So we have 16 markers in psychology, and we do loads of practice on answering these questions. So it definitely does improve your literacy skills. Excellent for self-confidence, with ample opportunities to work independently and as part of a team. It's a new subject for most students, so it expands your knowledge and skills, and it prepares you for new challenges. The question we get quite often is, because it's a new subject, you know, if somebody's done psychology at GCSE, are they more advantaged in comparison to those kids that haven't done psychology at GCSE? If you haven't done psychology at GCSE, you're not disadvantaged by any means. You still do as well as the kids that have done psychology. In fact, we haven't got many students that do psychology at GCSE. It's a handful. I mean, each year I get about 1 or 2 students at max per class. Sometimes it's just 1. I've had years where there's nobody in that class that's done psychology, so you won't be disadvantaged by any means. Psychology is most definitely a popular degree level subject, as it leads to a range of careers. The range is so wide that the majority of psychology students move on to a non-psychology field. Doing psychology, you will develop many employability skills such as communication, teamwork, critical analysis, evaluation, problem solving, and numeracy. Psychology can be taken as an A-level alongside many other A-levels because it is a very versatile course. And the psychology A-level is also classed as a science A-level, so it's very useful for those people that want to access the medical field and they want to go into maybe dentistry or go become a doctor or a psychiatrist. It is really helpful, and it is classed as a science as well. So it works really, really well with subjects like bio, chemistry and maths, but also it works well with all other subjects, so law, the social sciences, RE, politics, and like I said, it is a versatile subject, so it can go with any of the A levels that you are wanting to choose. Okay, so why choose us for psychology? So in terms of class sizes, we've got 24 students in each class. It could be more, it could be less, depending on the intake that year, and that's a really nice class size because in terms of discussion and group work, it works really, really well. The department itself is very well equipped. We've got excellent resources and textbooks. In terms of textbooks, we have an online ebook that we have a subscription for all our year 12 students and our year 13 students. So at the start of the year, you will get free access to the online textbook at all times at home, so you can use that at home. You can go over content that you've done in lesson. You can look ahead at what we're doing the next lesson, so it works really, really well. You'll get support from experienced teachers who are passionate about psychology. We've got a wealth of knowledge and experience within our department. We've got specialists in psychology that are really equipped to teach you psychology as well. So I think you will be you will be in a good place. So yeah, definitely a great place to be. I mean, I've been here for nearly 5 years, and Nicola in the background has been here for nearly 6 years, 5-6 years, and it's just a wonderful place. And as a college as well, it's a really nice environment to be in. So yeah. Okay, so course outline. The A-level psychology course is a two-year linear course, and what that means is your exams are at the end of year 13, which is at the end of year 2. You have 3 papers that you do, which are 2 hours long, and each has topics that you'll be taught. It's 100% exam. There's no coursework within the A-level, so it is just exam based. To assess progress, you will sit key assessments after each topic. So at the end of every single topic that you do, we give students a key assessment, which is timed under timed conditions. It's marked by the teacher and fed back to the students. We also give you an essay to as well. We don't do that in research methods, but in other topics we do give you an essay to do, and we don't do it in biopsychology either, but you get that essay, you get practice on essays as well from the get-go as soon as you enter psychology, and that again is marked by the teacher, it's graded, and it's fed back to you guys as well. So at the end of each topic, you will be given an assessment and an essay, and that is really helpful to you as well, because you know where you're at, you know where you need to, what skills you need to work on, and where you've done well as well. Okay, so in terms of entry requirements, as a college, we've got general college entry requirements, which are 2 GCSEs at grade 6. So this could be any GCSEs at grade 6 or above, and 3 further grades 4s in your GCSEs, and that should include grade 4 in GCSE English language and mathematics. So our entry requirement for maths is 4. In addition, this course requires at least a grade 4 in a science subject, preferably biology. Okay. In terms of career and progression, A-level psychology can lead you onto many exciting university courses and careers. So these are some of the courses that we've listed on the screen. Obviously, if you do a search on Google, you can see that there's many other things that you can go into. So let's have a little look. You've got becoming a doctor, a psychiatrist. You can go into nursing. Many students have gone on to do physiotherapy and healthcare related careers. You've got psychotherapist. You've got social worker. You've got teachers, educational psychologists, counsellors, forensic psychology, so working with the police. You've got media, advertising and business roles. So you can see that psychology is a versatile subject. You can go on to many things, and a lot of our students go on to the courses that are on the screen, but also some students do go on to career paths that are not even linked to psychology. So again, if you want further information on that, have a little look on Google, do a bit of a search, and there are many careers that you can get onto. Okay, so this is a case study. This is Ellen, and Ellen picked biology, chemistry and psychology as A-levels at the 6th form, and then she did an extended project qualification and core maths. These are part of our enrichment program, so if you want to look into enrichment, please go onto our website, and there is a tab which is all about enrichments, and it gives you all the details of all the enrichments that we do at the 6th form if you're interested. She then progressed on to doing biochemistry degree at the University of Bath. So this is a typical case study, and this is kind of one of the degree courses that students go on to doing. Now we've got a few student testimonies about the college as a whole. So let's have a little read. You've got: the most enjoyable thing about college for me was the chance to branch out and communicate with like-minded people who were in my lessons, as you were given a lot more freedom. Then we've got one about staff. You've got: the staff always went above and beyond to help students. The time invested into my education shows just how much the college cares. And then you've got: the best thing about college is that as a student you are given the opportunity to be an independent learner with your own responsibilities as a young adult. So these are some of the lovely things that our students say about us at the college. So a little bit about application. So if you're interested in applying at the 6th form, and if you're still here, this is a link that you need to access to apply. So it says go to solihullsfc.ac.uk/applying/step-by-step for instructions on how to apply. You will be directed to Applica, which is what we are using for online applications. You'll create an account. This will enable you to complete the online application and log back at any time as a registered user. We will send you email confirmation of receipt of your application within 2 weeks. We will also contact your school for a reference. If your application indicates you will meet our entry criteria, we will then invite you into college for an interview. And then at that point, we hope to offer you a position at the college, whether that's for A levels, whether that's for a BTEC program, whatever suits your needs. Students with offers will be invited to attend summer subject taster sessions, and enrolment will also take place in late August, early September after GCSE results day. Okay, so I hope that helps you in terms of how to apply, and I guess screenshot this this page, and also we will upload the PowerPoint onto our website at a later date if you have missed anything or you want to look through the PowerPoint. Okay, so we've got a few useful links on the screen. You've got a link for psychology, you've got a link for results at the college, and then you've got a step-by-step guide to applying at the sixth form. So now this is the end of the PowerPoint presentation. We will go through some questions that have been asked behind the scenes, and Nicola will run us through some of the questions. So if you have got any questions and you're sitting there and you're thinking of asking us a question, please do feel free to message us in the Q&A box, and we're more than happy to answer your questions live. Right then, Nick, so what questions have you got today?
Thank you very much. I know you have said this earlier in the presentation, but maybe just to reiterate, I know this is one of the biggest worries that some of the students have when they are applying. Somebody's saying, I'm thinking I'm probably going to get a 4 in maths. Do you think I will struggle to study psychology?
Okay, so our entry requirements for maths is a grade 4. So in terms of struggling, I don't think you will struggle because the teachers will support you through the mathematical content within psychology. What we do ask for is minimum grade 4 to enter the course. And again, it's basic maths that you need to know in psychology. And again, we've got teachers, experienced teachers that can help support you with that content. So not to worry, we need a grade 4 in maths. And it's a similar thing with biology and chemistry and physics as well. In your combined science, we need grade 4s, and again, the content that we have in psychology that involves biology is very basic, and again, we teach you them skills in psychology and we support you throughout the way. So do not worry if you know you've achieved a grade 4, we will help support you.
And sort of just along the sense, there's a different person, but just to say that they've noticed that core maths is an option, and I know it was on the testimonial there, wasn't it? Core maths, I've seen that core maths is an option. Do you think it would be beneficial for me to do core maths alongside psychology?
I think if you are a student that has achieved a grade 6, 7 and above, even a 5, I don't know whether core maths will be useful to you, but I think if you've just scraped a 4 and you're struggling with maths, I think core maths is really good to have alongside psychology, just because it gives you that boost in terms of your mathematical knowledge. So if you've achieved above like a grade 5, I think core maths may not be for you, because it shows that you did do well in maths and you can cope with the level of maths that we have in psychology. But if you've just scraped a 4 and you are struggling and you do want that bit of a boost, then I do recommend core maths, absolutely. And again, it's an enrichment program, it's not an A level, it's an enrichment program that we offer at the college. Yep.
Brilliant, thank you. What would we do in terms of a textbook? I know that at some colleges they make you buy textbooks. Is this something you do at the sixth form?
Okay, so in terms of textbooks, we have an online ebook that we allow kids to have access to, and we have that for year 12 and year 13. It's absolutely free. We give you the login details at the start of year 12 and the start of year 13, and you can access that throughout the whole year. So there's no cost from your side. So yeah, we can offer you an ebook when you start the course.
Brilliant. A lot of students find that quite useful, don't they?
Yeah.
To be able to access that, whenever they need to, really. Question here then about sort of independent study and homework. How much homework would we get a week? How long would we expect to spend on it, and what types of things would we be expected to do in homework?
Okay, in terms of homework, we give homework quite often. The government guidelines is 5 hours per A level, so that's just 5 hours for psychology. So I mean, I don't think we'd set 5 hours worth of work, but we do set quite a fair bit of homework. It's very important at the college. We set the homework, we check the homework, we monitor your homework constantly. So I think homework is very, very important. The types of homework that we give you could be things like exam questions. It could be things like doing a little project at home. It could be things like doing a questionnaire. It could be things like answering some AL1 knowledge quiz questions by using the ebook. So it can range. It depends on what you're currently covering in lessons as well. So yeah, homework is very important at the college, and we do ask students to do homework every single week, and it's checked as well.
Brilliant, thank you. We've just had a question come in. It's quite an unusual one.
Okay.
How much of the course is psychopaths?
Oh.
I don't think they're talking about the teachers.
Oh.
We're okay.
Well, we're definitely not psychopaths.
Is psychopaths? I mean, we don't actually talk about that specifically, do we, as such? But certainly we talk about sort of affectionist psychopathy, don't we? In attachment, there are some topics where elements of psychopathy would come up, where there's certain features of people sort of not showing empathy and things leading to criminal behaviour, and we do a little bit of that in forensics as well, don't we?
Yeah.
Where we
look at criminals,
look at the sort of characteristics of criminality. So that is probably where that would come up the most. There's not a whole topic on psychopaths, unfortunately. I know lots of people would quite like that, wouldn't they?
I know.
But
and we're definitely not psychopaths.
That's right. That would be terrible. Right. Could you? So somebody here. What's the? I think you probably addressed bits of this, but we'll just have a look in case it's earlier. But what types of questions could you get, and what types of skills would that cover in psychology?
So the type of questions that you can get and skills. So first of all, we'll start off with the skills. We've got 3 skills in psychology. AL1 is outline, so that's description based. So just kind of understanding a theory, outlining a theory. And AL2 is your application. So then applying your knowledge to a scenario based question. So they give you a scenario in the exam and you apply your knowledge to that scenario and say how it would link. And then AL3 is your strengths and weaknesses. So it's looking at evaluation of a particular theory and approach, or comparisons of approaches as well. In terms of questions and types of questions, it can range. So it can start off from 1 mark, a multiple choice question. It can be a 1 mark evaluation question, all the way to like you've got 2 marks, 4 marks, 6 marks, and then the highest question, the highest mark question you can get is a 16 marker, which is an essay based question, and the essay would assess skills such as your AL1 outline, AL2 application, and AL3 evaluation skills. And then we have got like a little mini essay as well, which is an 8 marker, again that would assess your AL1, 2 and 3 skills as well. So our questions do range from all the way down to 1 to 16 as well. So 16 is the highest marked question you can get in psychology. So I hope that gives you a bit of an understanding of what the questions will look like. And also, if you go onto the AQA website and you want to have a little look at the past exam papers, that will give you a feel of some of the questions that have been asked previously as well. And you can see the style and the format of these questions as well. So do access the AQA website and just download a paper and see what it looks like, and also have a little look at the specification as well. It's available online.
Yeah, actually, in that sort of vein, I have got somebody here who has said, what topics do you cover? So just to let everybody know, I'm going to type those into the chat, but I just wondered, Sally, if you had a quick run through just some of the topics, give a little bit of an indication of what's covered in them, not everything obviously,
yeah.
But just give a little bit of an indication as to some of the topics and sort of what they might involve.
So year one, then we start looking at social influence to start off with, and kind of a few famous researchers that we look at. A really interesting one is Zimbardo, who did a prison study, and I know the Stanford prison experiment is also on Netflix. I think it's still on Netflix, but there is a movie on the Stanford prison experiment as well. We look at Milgram, we look at Asher's research into conformity and obedience. Then we move on to look at research methods. Research methods is the topic that has got the mathematical content. So we look at things like your mean, mode, and median. You look at things like range, correlations, standard deviation, and we look at research methods. And research methods questions are quite kind of, in terms of marks, maximum mark you can get on research methods is 12 marks, and that's like a design and experiment type of question. And then we move on to looking at memory, so how the human memory works, and we look at different models of memory. We then have a little look at attachment, which is we look at animal attachment and how they form attachments with their caregivers. We look at attachments within humans and how they form attachments with their caregivers. We look at disruption in attachment as well, and we look at really a good a little topic on Romanian orphanages, which I find really, really interesting. And we look at the effect of institutionalization in attachment. And then we go on to look at psychopathology. So this is looking at mental health disorders such as your phobias, OCD, depression. We also look at schizophrenia as well, because as we're talking about mental health disorders, we look at schizophrenia, diagnosis, treatment of schizophrenia. We also look at forensics, as we mentioned earlier, as Nicola mentioned, like the criminal minds. Why do people become criminals? And kind of offender profiling in forensics. We look at biopsychology. This includes a bit of biology as well. I say a bit of biology, but it's called biopsychology, so quite a fair bit of biology, but it's basic biology that you would have learned at GCSE, so things like, you know, synaptic transmission, different types of neurons, all of that good stuff. And then we've got a topic on gender as well. So you can see we've got so many interesting topics. Each topic is different in itself, and yeah, it ranges, isn't it? So and they do link back to other courses as well. So for example, if you do criminology, and I've taught criminology before, so I've taught kids the social learning theory in approaches in psychology, and then we teach the same thing in criminology. You look at some things about offender profiling in law that you will then visit in psychology as well. So there's some things that you will visit in other A levels as well. So that's good because it just consolidates your knowledge on certain topic areas. So yeah, again, like I said earlier, if you want to check out the specification and you want to go a little bit more in depth and you want to look at, for example, the different components of or the different models of memory that we look at in memory, have a little look at our specification. It goes into much more detail of the subtopics that we cover in psychology.
Brilliant, thank you very much. I'm just looking, having another quick look through the questions. I'm just answering this question anyway, but the questions come up, is there any extra help for students with learning disabilities like dyslexia in lessons and exams? So I am typing an answer to that, but maybe if you could just give a little bit of an idea of sort of the idea of ALS, additional learning support, and just the sorts of things that we might do, perhaps in key assessments and exams in terms of sort of Meriden and
okay,
you know, things like that, that'd be great.
So in terms of exam arrangements, we've got students, if they do have any issues in terms of, it might be disabilities and mental health issues or additional learning support, things that we do offer are, I mean, in my class currently, we've got kids that have extra time, we've got kids that have rest breaks, we have kids that go to different rooms to do their exams, we have kids that have scribes, we have kids that have readers, and as a college, we are a really good place to be because we support kids with additional learning support. It is handy to let us know like as soon as possible, as soon as you come to the college, that we can put some arrangements in place to support you. But as a college and as a department, we are very supportive and understanding. So if there are cases where you get extra time and you get rest breaks. We will give that to you in every single exam that you do in psychology. So it's not just for the final exam. We will do it in mini exams, our little key assessments, our essays, any test that we do with you guys. You will get that support, and that's cross college as well. It's not just in psychology, and I think we're really hot on that, and I think it's really nice that we do support kids from all different backgrounds and from all different abilities, and yeah, so you're in a safe place at the college in terms of additional learning support, and kind of like getting that support from teachers outside of college and inside of college as well.
Excellent. I was just going to say, it might be worth mentioning about sort of coaches and coaching as well.
Amazing, yeah, definitely. So coaching, in your timetable you will see a slot that will be a coaching slot. It's an hour and a half, and it's a bit like what I call when you had a tutor at school, and it's like seeing your tutor once a week, and that person is like your first point of contact if something was to happen at college, or you're not coming in and you're not well, or there's certain issues that arise. You have a coach who will have could give you that one-to-one support, and will have meetings with you about your progress at college. And I do think it's actually like a tutor. It's just called a coach in the sixth form, and they are the person that you'd go to if you have got any issues. And again, especially with additional learning support, you might feel comfortable in telling your coach, and the coach would usually email all your teachers and let them know of any issue that you have or any absences that you have, so that it keeps us in the loop as well. And I think coaches is a brilliant thing that we have at the college, that the kids really like, actually. So yeah, we've got coaches in place as well, who are very supportive and really work hard with the students on a one-to-one basis.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much. And that's our time, isn't it, really?
Amazing. So it was great. It was great presenting this today, and I hope that gives you an insight of psychology, but not just psychology, of the sixth form, and kind of what this place is like. And so if you are thinking of applying, please get your applications in, and we look forward to seeing you at the college, and I hope you have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.